The Heat this past weekend, they gave the business to the Nuggets. 125-105 win on Saturday. Great to have the Heat back in your life.
You know what's the most important thing about that game?
What?
That you haven't been back to playing basketball that long. You got a blowout.
Yep.
You can get a lot of guys in the game, and you can sit your guys out. Like Bam, people who, Bam has some time off.
Jimmy.
And you can sit those guys and let them rest because you got to play in 2 days.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. The fact that you got 3 games in 4 nights, winning these games as efficiently as possible is definitely huge. And with the Nuggets being depleted a little bit, even though they have a fantastic player in Nikola Jokic, you want to take care of the games you can take care of because, you take on a good Raptors team today, take on a good Celtics team tomorrow. You got the Bucks on Thursday. So it's a stacked week for them. It's a stacked week for the Heat.
You think Denver, Tobin, and Leroy are saying not a true loss?
If they would, I would understand it, but they should also recognize.
What? Oh my goodness!
They should also recognize. They should also recognize. Let me just say, Denver, Tobin, and Leroy should also recognize that they get a lot of cheapies because of their fake air, and because of illegal air, they probably get more fake wins than anybody. So what's fair? What goes around comes around.
Now, let me ask you this, and I already know the answer, but I think, it's a question that needs to be asked. You think you would be that understanding if the shoe was on the other foot?
If we played in illegal air?
No.
Oh, you mean like if the Heat, like if the Heat had Jimmy and let's just say Duncan Robinson out today and it was only Bam and them boys against Toronto.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, not a true loss.
Or somehow the smeltering heat affects the Denver Nuggets before they play a game. Which is not.
I don't know. Hard to say. I can't delve in the realm of fantasy right now. That's a tough thing. Yeah, I don't know.
You can't delve into the world of fantasy.
Yep.
I mean, watching you on my screen right now is like watching sci-fi.
Really?
Yeah. You sure you're not a Kree?
What the hell's a Kree?
My people know.
Yeah, they're the blue people in the Marvel movies.
Oh, like the Avatar?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, kind of like. They have Kree and Supergirl?
Yeah.
I don't know what Kree is.
It's a race.
Oh.
It's sci-fi, dude. Like, if everybody don't look human.
That's like the lady in I thought that was like Avengers where they got the like Thanos.
There's Kree.
That's Kree?
Is Thanos Kree? No, Thanos is not Kree.
I think he's just his own dude.
What about the green lady?
Oh, Gamora?
Oh, Gamora.
I think she was adopted. I mean, by
she
Thanos,
was adopted
by
because Thanos blew up killed her, everybody from her world.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And he adopted her. So he raised her.
I believe Captain Marvel is like part Kree.
Yes, she got the Kree juice. She got hit by the Kree. Yeah, she did.
She did.
An explosion, and she got hit with the Kree juice or something.
Now she's doing car commercials.
So the Miami Heat made a pretty big switch this weekend in the starting lineup because I was actually on Heat Weekly on Saturday, and Tommy he sends you what we're going to talk about.
Why you throw that in our face all the time?
Well, because I have a setup for it. I'm going to tell you why. It makes me look bad. I was going to tell you why.
Oh,
so we were talking about. He's like, "Oh, we're going to talk about Tyler Hero. We're going to talk about Myers Leonard, and whatever else." But we ended up just basically talking about Tyler and Myers Leonard. And so we were asked about like what Myers Leonard brings to the table and what I expect for the starting lineup. And I was like, I expect Spo to stick with the starting lineup that they had the most success with. And the only reason I think that would probably go away is if Myers just physically isn't right. Which he hasn't looked. I did say he hasn't looked fantastic in the scrimmages. He's probably looked the worst playing basketball out of anybody the Heat have had. But I still thought, they're starting the regular season. That's probably the lineup they want to go to because it had good success. And Spo did not wait. Spo kind of pulled the trigger immediately, and he put Jay Crowder in there. He hasn't said that it's a physical thing for Myers. He made it seem more like it was a basketball fit and the matchups. But I mean, Myers Leonard, he went from starter to DNP coach's decision. Like he did not play at all, Leroy.
I know. I saw that. I was like, wow, this is an interesting. But I will say this. I'm never going to question something that the coach does as far as who's playing. And I would venture to say that something might not be right. Or I will say this. My man's been playing lights out since he got healthy. Right? And what's his name?
Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk. Kelly O been playing excellent.
Kelly Olynyk's been amazing.
And so you're kind of in one of those situations where, although you've had success with Myers, the fact of the matter is that you kind of got to ride this hot hand.
I guess, yeah, but it's not like it's almost like starting anew. Like Kelly's played better than like he's saying. He's came into camp as good a shape as anybody. He's been playing as good as anybody. But it's just still strange. It's like if Myers is healthy, that you go from starting basically every game that you've been healthy to no minutes at all. And I'm not saying it didn't work because look, Jay Crowder did that job. He was 3 of 4 from downtown. All his shots were from 3. So he played. He's a smaller individual, but he's still great defensively, and he spread the floor.
Right. I know, man, but what
I know.
Like, all these analogies of what you think is working or not working. You throw in Kelly Owen. Now you got him. You got Duncan. You got Jay Crowder. The floor is spaced for a guy like Jimmy. When Jimmy doesn't have to shoot, one of the reasons why you don't have to shoot is because guess what? There used to be a point in time with the big three where LeBron would have the ball on top of the key and everybody would have a foot in the paint. And dare you to either shoot it or you don't have any shooters on the floor, this is what we going to do. You can't do that with the Heat. So that gives Jimmy even more of an opportunity to do what he needs to do to either get to the line to score points, thus making everybody more effective. With Myers, you want him in the game as a rim presence. Right? That can also stretch the floor. With Kelly O, you just want him in there to get their big out of the paint.
Yeah, and Kelly O's also got some more pass, a little bit more passing ability than Myers does. Like that's just he brings a little bit more. I just think a little bit. He just brings more factors to the game when he's going right and has that shot going, which he has. He's been killing it, and he physically, the guys are crazy, raving about how he looks physically. Let's get to Jay. Here's Jay Crowder. This is him talking about getting the chance to start this weekend. Crowder. No worries. Robbie's going to grab it for us as he was out there and had the good communication. And Jimmy loves him, man. Like, Jimmy goes out there and he's like, it was a couple games in and he was talking about Jay Crowder being a guy that he wants around for a while. I mean, they played together at Marquette for a little bit.
Yeah, he's, you know what? What's weird to me is I've always liked Jay Crowder. Everywhere I've seen him play, he always seemed like that D&3 guy, that guy that is going to give you everything he has all the time. Always seemed like that guy wherever he played. It's amazing that he's played for so many teams. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think at any point in time has anybody ever looked at Jay Crowder and say, oh, he's no good.
You know what I think it is? I think it's one of those things where he's a guy that I think everybody would like to have on their team, but is also a guy that, maybe isn't like untouchable, Right. So whenever there's a trade piece, whenever you're trading for somebody, you look over and say, how you feeling about Jay Crowder? We'll take him. And and to that Memphis trade, like I know that the big name there is Andre Iguodala. He's a 3-time champ. He's a Finals MVP. All that type of stuff. He has all the accolades. But I really don't think of him that much with this Heat team. Like Andre Iguodala and the moments that stick out to you as a Heat fan, I think they're kind of few and far between thus far. I know it hasn't been long, so I'll be fair. But Jay Crowder has come in like a bat out of hell and has really just slapped Heat fan in the face with, "Hey, watch me," and he's been fantastic.
two things that I was very, very happy to see. I would like Tyler to get it going a little bit more. Kelly O goes without saying. Iguodala seems like he's getting his legs.
Yes.
He's moving around. He looks so much better.
I tell you,
and
you had a couple nice dishes that was really happy was Kendrick. Kendrick had a couple like where he penetrated and he found guys cutting in. I was like, whoa! It just felt like a nice little maturity from him.
He's a guy that kind of, I don't know. Should we expect more?
I don't know. Like it's always one of those things where I always feel good with him shooting the ball. Like he's a I mean, like the guy's got a talent to score. But those other intricacies of his game, like you still, I don't know if he's fully developed yet, but I saw some signs of it. And then I'm worried a guy that is his size, like they list him at 6'2". I mean, I think it's a little bit of a Fugazi 6'2". He's a small guy, Leroy.
No, I know. Here's an interesting kind. Somebody said Crowder is outplaying Winslow when he was here. Would you think that Winslow is what the Heat? I mean, Crowder is what they wanted Winslow to be.
I think if Winslow would have been satisfied being in that role on this team, I think that would have been more ideal for them. Yeah.
Well, being satisfied and not having the role you want, nobody has the role they want. Everybody came out of college being the guy. Right?
Yeah, but Winslow's still 23. Like Crowder's been established in this league. I think he probably knows what his role is.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think Winslow ever gets to Jay Crowder status.
Maybe, especially with the way his body's been holding up.
Right.
Here's Jay Crowder on starting this weekend.
I don't get too caught up into starting the game. I obviously would like to finish the game more than start the game. So that's my mentality. But whatever it takes for our team to get off to a good start and sustain a good identity to the game and a good brand of basketball, the way we want to play basketball, I'm all for it. It felt good to get out there and get a good start for our team. And obviously, there in the third quarter when I hit a few shots, I was just letting the game come to me. I didn't want to force anything. I wanted to play within the offense, and I knew playing with Jimmy and Bam and Dunk, the shots and the opportunity would come. So I just stayed within the game and stayed within myself.
Texter right saying, come on, guys. Have you been watching the Leonard videos? He's sending a message. This is not a frat house. You think because Myers Leonard has been shotgunning beers, like they're sending him a message?
No. I mean, that's what you do to Hassan. I mean, he's a consummate pro. He's fine.